Sí.
Hello. I am recording right now. Hi, Sabian. Hi, Wen. Hi, Mega. Hi, Curry. Andrew.
Everyone.
Victoria. Hi, Curry.
Hello, Mango.
Oh, that's cool. I have water to speak a lot. So,
I like how you're wearing winter clothing.
yeah, because here in the Alps, you know, it's really cold. I'm heating myself. Hi, Paulina. Nice to see you again. What, Fabian? Why you are there?
I don't know.
I don't know. Victoria. Hi.
The coldest looking picture I have.
Yeah. So okay, we can. Okay, I think we can wait for more people, a little bit more. Victoria, you are new here.
Yes.
Okay, you can introduce yourself as like we can know you a little bit more.
Yeah. My name's Victoria Bixby. I just recently got into UX and UI basically when COVID started. So I'm pretty new and just wanting to just learn more and just, you know.
Okay, great. So are you in Discord right now?
No, I'm on Zoom.
Okay. Okay. Right now I'm going to put here the Discord channel where we have the share materials, resources, and the challenge group, the challenges design group, and yeah, this is really active group. If you guys are new, I'm not seeing more new guys, like more than you. So yeah, go there and you can learn a lot from people. And for weekly meeting as well, we have really good speakers. And during August, we are presenting the design challenge for design group, for different group, and we are the new one, the first group for design challenge. So as you see, we are right now we are waiting for Mess. Waiting for, yeah, Mess is there. So yeah, wait for me just a second. Yeah, for design challenge presentation, we are the new one, the first one, sorry. And for August 12th, the next weekly meeting, we have the group 6 presenting their application, their projects, and August 19th, the group 7 is going to present, and the August 26th is going to present the group 1. Yeah, I'm going to put here in the Zoom meeting, in the Zoom chat, the groups. If you want to participate for one of those, go for the meeting place, and you can see there, and yeah, save your RSVP. I'm going to put here the link for the meeting place events. So we can start group. What is Mess? Oh, there you go. I didn't see that. Okay, I'm going to start share my screen. Wait. Wait, I am organizing here. Okay, share screen. Okay, there we go. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So the design challenge start with us. And guys, Erin, you can start. You're going to start presenting. Can you?
I cannot request to skip over to, so I'm just going to say next slide. And when I do that, can you just please go to the next slide?
Okay.
Great. And everyone in group 8 can do that too, that when you want to go to the next slide, we'll just say next slide and Leticia can take us to the next slide. No worries. Okay, let's go. So I have the honor and privilege of being a part of Group 8. What was our design challenge? Develop an app for people that are going to the Swiss Alps to ski and help them optimize and have the best vacation possible. Next slide. So guys, show of hands. How many of you like to go skiing or have been skiing before? Okay, I see some hands. I see some hands. How many people here have ever been to skiing in the Alps before? Anyone? Skiing in the Alps? Skiing in the... Oh, I'll tell you what. I haven't either. But as a person who's like desperately curious and wanting to know all about how people live and experience and learn about and do different things, I decided that it was going to be my job to understand who this user is of our potential app so that we could go on to develop and create one of the coolest apps ever for vacationing in the Swiss Alps. So next slide. Basically, this kind of was the underpinning of our entire design methodology, where first I would do my due diligence and do that research and finding out who our potential users are so we could optimize the overflow of our app. This would then be used to help develop personas and user journey maps so that then we could identify the particular pain points and problems that our app can solve and ensure that people have the best experience possible on their trip. This led us to develop a sitemap and then also create user flows in Wireframe, which then was the underpinning of our design system that not only helped us establish hi-fi prototypes, but an actual live prototype, which we are super excited to share with you all later. But first, let's talk a little bit about the research process. Next slide. Now, given that this app doesn't even exist, there's nothing like this out there at all in the world, I just had to learn, who is this user? Who could be our potential users? What is it like even to ski in the Alps? I've never been there before. I mean, I've skied, but only in the States. And the Swiss Alps is a very different, unique, its own type of ski culture. So I went everywhere I could think of. I went to Yelp, TripAdvisor. I looked up the reviews of actual resorts, even Reddit, anywhere and anything I could think of to think about, when do people go? What do they like about going there? What are some of the issues that they experience when they go there that then we could develop and create an app that would help push them towards the positives that they could get out of having this trip and minimize or completely avoid any negatives that they might experience here. And some of the stuff that came up in my research, such as very difficult knowing where or how to find lifts, or even like, because the process over and like navigating the lifts, ski lifts to get from the bottom of the mountain to the top, completely different from over here. Some of them don't even have like names, they're just numbered. And that was something that came up in a lot of the reviews that was a huge pain point for them. So I wanted to see what were those like issues that they were having so that we could develop the coolest, bestest app possible. And from this, we were able to develop user maps using Miro, and I'll let my team member Noriko take it from here to get us a sense of like, how did we get from user research onto the next parts of our journey. Noriko, take it away.
Thank you for energetic and nice introduction, Erin. So I'm gonna talk about persona user journey map and problems and solving. So after we researched user on review, maybe Erin checked over 100,000 reviewing, and then also I checked 100 reviews, and then we think about, we decided, because many people came from different countries, even using like airplane, so probably they want to enjoy luxury, and probably they are not so beginner. So we should focus on these 4 persona right now. So 4 is actually a huge number for me, but we tried. So next slide, please. And these 4 is example personas. 2 of them are solo player, and then 2 of them are family, and then mom and dad. Next one. And one is the solo skier. I am Niall. So I love meeting new people and crazy about trying new cuisine. I am in a relationship, but I don't care about girlfriends so much. That's why I came here myself. And my goals is having the best vacation of my life. And my needs are finding challenging ski routes, find best restaurants because I'm crazy about new cuisine, and find places to stay out late at night because I'm like talking with new people and drinking and fun by myself. So next one, please. And different one, she is mom and family persona. So I am Sarah. I have been devoting my time to lovely two kids. I am very organized person. I'm married and have two kids. So I'm going to there with my lovely family. So my goals are make trip fun for everyone, make sure kids are safe, make sure older kids can ski with dad and young kids can go to ski school. Make sure they have options for kids to have fun when they're not skiing because my kids are bit young and they're so cute. And my needs are info about ski renting, school, emergency contact, and avoiding long lines because my kids cannot wait long time, right? Thank you. So according to their personas, we are thinking about customer journey map. And then this one is example for family mom that I pretend to Sarah. And we divided step, user action, touch point, emotion, thoughts, pain point, and solutions. So step is basically, steps and user action are basically just flow, like they planning to skiing and like checking hotel, rent equipment, and following the steps, we think about user action. And the most important thing is their emotion and thoughts. So if, for example, as I said, like my kids cannot wait long lineups, so we have to book accommodation and equipment first before we went to there, like that. And based on that, we think about think about detail about pain point. And then next one, please. Yeah, we figured out so many problems and find out solutions. So two of them, I will talk about it because maybe it's important for many personas in our force. So hot. So one is hard to know where we are because Wi-Fi is unavailable in the mountain. So I am not skier, but I'm snowboarder in winter in Vancouver. And when I in mountain, I always lost my way because I don't have Wi-Fi in mountain, and then I didn't take map all the time. So always I cannot check where I am, and then even I want to eat something, I don't know where is the closest bar or restaurant in mountain. So our solution is offline maps. And second one is not sure who to call for help if someone gets lost or injured. This is important for especially solo player and also families, because when we get injured in mountain, especially Alps, I don't know which language I have to use it, and I don't know which emergency call I can call. Even like I don't know 911 or 199 or like So that's why our solution is direct emergency call function. So after that, probably let's talk about good things. So thank you for listening.
Thank you, Noriko. Yeah, so after we do the research and we know what our users are looking for, we went to do a competitive analysis. So we decided to look some apps out there. There are some that are direct competitors from us, like Ski Resorts, Slopes, and Sierra. that they were built for ski. But one of the things we want to add in our app is the offline maps, the recording your activity in the mountain, and all that. So we have here Strava and all trails that they are not for ski, but they do something similar for hiking or for sports. So we thought maybe it's good to see how they solve this problem. So let's go to the next slide. So after we identify in the user journey what are the things our users are looking for, we listed those things here, and then check how these apps are solving these problems. So the first thing is offline routes, reviews of the routes, and record your activity. All Trails does a very good job with that. And the other apps, they do something. They have some offline maps. For example, something very important that they don't have is the reviews. Because one thing is to know the technical information about the thing you are doing, the route you are taking. But it's very nice when you see how was the experience of other people in the same situation. So we feel like reviews are very important. The second thing is checking the weather and the snow conditions. That's very important for skiers, especially because it's not just the weather. It's not if it's going to rain or if it's sunny. It's about the quality of the snow and all that. And yeah, some ski resorts, Sierra, and they have some, and All Trails has some information about that. The other thing very important for people that they are going solo there, they are not in a group, or families, they care about contact emergency or contact the resort or someone if they are in trouble. And only one of those apps had this alternative. But it's actually funny because it was very hidden in the app. It was very difficult to find. And imagine you break a leg, you are not going to spend 5 minutes on your phone trying to find the contact information. So we decided like it's going to be very important to have it in the main screen, for example. About transportation, lift tickets, there are some things in the All Trails that they are useful. Ski Resort has something too, but it's just information about where they lift and the working hours and the prices, but you can't actually buy tickets, for example. Very similar with the find accommodation. You have ski resorts have something. They have some list of resorts around and hotels, but you can't do too much there. You can't book accommodation. And what about extra things like rent or buy equipment or the best deals in the town? You don't have it in any of these applications. So next slide. So just summarizing what we realized about app after the competitive analysis, it's like in general these apps provide a very poor user experience. They are kind of old. The layout is a little bit strange. The things are difficult to find, and sometimes they provide some functionality, but they don't do it inside the app. You have to go to other apps to check weather or to check booking information. So the experience is not that great. Because they have outdated information and they keep crashing some devices, the users really don't trust too much on them. This is the big thing, like they are not personalized. So we have different personas, we have families, we have solo travelers, adventure travelers, and they look for different things. So we want to kind of create a kind of profile in our application so we can offer them the things they need, not something standard. So if you need just one app to support your trip, none of these apps are enough. Next slide. So after we check all these competitions, these other apps, we worked in the Sitemap. So this is how the onboarding process is going to look. After you download the app, you have to sign in or sign up to create your profile. So we identify you, what kind of traveler are you. But if you don't want to do that, you can always skip it and go to the main screen. So you explore the app, say, I like the app. So I'm going to create a profile. Okay. So in the main screen, we decided to put the most important things people are looking for and the things they are going to look very often. So just to simplify the main screen and not put everything there. So, and then the next slide. So in the menu, for example, we kept the things like they don't require to be so present. For example, reservation that you only are going to visit that section when you do the check-in, but then you forget about that. Okay. So yeah, if you want to know how all this application looks in real life, Leticia is going to present you what we're starting to do with the wireframes.
Okay, thank you, Liz, for your introduction here. I'm going to speak about the user flow and the wireframe. So, according to the sitemap that Liz have organized, I had created each screen and the whole project in Figma. I was thinking in the persona requirements, in the content, in the competitors analysis, and in the contrast between the text and the and the call to action. And as a user experience designer, we care about to get the application the most intuitive possible and the most friendly, user-friendly possible. So I was, after to get the whole process, I was testing there with some users and iterating constantly to decrease the user friction. So are you going to see why? You may ask you why Figma? I have really good experience with Figma from tons of time ago. It is possible to work collaboratively with many people online, and it's free. That is something really important, and something that is not less important, that is we have really good plugins to follow, to work on in the design system, in the prototype, in the wireframe, and and more things. And now I'm going to speak about the design system. So why you should go for the design system before the prototype? Because it's really important to be organized. If you have many people working in the same time and you have to quick delivery the prototype, and you have 5 people working in a prototype at the same time. So I started selecting the colors for the brand color. That is the red for the Switzerland, the blue and the blue light, and the white because of the mountain and the ski journey. And the text colors I decided to create from the light gray to the black, and have different tones, different colors for the contrast. And then I'm going to speak about the typography. Yeah, you are going to see why not sans is a good typography to select in application. This is really good application because it's the main typography. It has a visual harmony, and it has a huge variation in their library. So I believe, and I discussed with the team if that was the best, and really was the best. Now you are going to see that list of like items. This is, for me, is a tip to get, is a tip that I learned before to get the line height correctly. You must consider the font size and the lettering space to get the perfect line height for your application. So according to that list, you have the heading, you have the paragraph, and you have the bottom and the small paragraph math, you know. To create the next step, you create the bottom, you create the cards, or you create the entire application, and be really consistency in the entire application. Why? For me, is the main objective to be consistency in every single step, creating the design, the application, the typography, the all elements, and the categorize and iconography. So for the constancy here, I'm going to speak about for the cars. This is something that you are going to see in the prototype in the following soon, because this card we generate in the main page. We create the same card for the food and fun and for the map. So now the hierarchy in the food and fun, for example, it works differently. We wanted to generate the category for the food and fun, like coffee, restaurant, and nightclub, with brand colors to prioritize that. And then you have the subcategories, that is the taco, pasta, and Indian, that is a specific type of food to go. And the normal icons for go back, menu, filter, the weather, and close application. And also the other elements that we should be care in the entire application, like inputs with the text inside, with a title, with a subtitle, with the text below, or that I made here is with an icon inside the input, and selected menu, button. So with those elements, with the entire application, that the ecosystem of the design, we were able to generate the prototype Wi-Fi all. So that is why it's really important to be consistency and get the design system done. So now Mez is going to give you the prototype, and this is going to be awesome. Mez, you are.
Yep.
Are you there?
Yes. Next slide, please. Yeah. So thank you, Leticia. And here is the prototype, which I'm going to explain to you. So once we have established the basic structure with the wireframes, which we created earlier in the design process, and using the design systems, we created this high fidelity prototype. And these are the key features which we focused in our app. So from the start, we have a screen where we ask specific questions about the person to analyze their background information and generate automatically sections of highly interesting features which are personalized to the user's needs. Referencing back to our personas, for example, Nile, being an adventurous guy, he wants to quickly filter out the challenging routes and wants to be carefree during the complete vacation. Whereas Sarah, she's a mother of 2 amazing kids and wants to be aware that the kids are safe, as well as she wants to enjoy the skiing trip as well. Next slide. So as you can see, these features have been specifically incorporated into our design to meet these needs. We have the emergency services here, where you can contact police, ambulance in case you are injured, and even a mountain assistance, whoever is available nearby. We also have various filters, especially for people like Sarah. She needs to, as I said, she needs to take care of her kids and have fun while skiing as well. She can just filter out the routes quickly, and she doesn't need to actually navigate the entire Zermatt system. So we have, based on the difficulties, we have even based on the ski timing, basically the ski length, and even the elevation gain as well. So we can filter, once you filter out the routes, we have also the map where you can select the routes and even check out the routes in detail. Next slide, please. We also have the transportation, where I would say transportation rentals, where most of the users can hire a car or a bus to and from the resort to the ski point. Based on the research, most of the users mentioned it's hard to book equipment as well. So in our app, we have that feature as well. As you can see, as a rental equipment, we have a separate page for it. So there are a couple of other features which I'm going to show you in the live prototype. And
can you follow that?
Yeah, and here you go. This is our high fidelity prototype. So this is the main screen where the user can either sign in or explore the app as well without signing in. So we are going to show you the sign in route. So click on the sign in, please. Yeah. So since we are the first time users, we click on sign up, and on signing up, we go to the next page where we go and here you fill out the entire information, the first name, last name, and which accommodation you have booked, and where will you be arriving at Zermatt. All this information, the ski level is very important here as well, and the kind of traveler. So once you save all this information, this is stored and on the main screen. And sorry, so since you're a first time user, you would be even shown the onboarding journey as well. So this is the ski journey, and yeah, the next one, please. So weather info, as well as the activities. These are the kind of activities which you can do outside skiing as well. So this is the main screen, and here you can see the recommended routes, and you can see the equipment, ski journey, transportation, food and fun, and emergency services. We have clearly mentioned the emergency services so that people do not really need to search for an emergency icon here. So on click of emergency services, Leticia, yeah. So you can call, as I've mentioned, you can we have the 3 options here. You can close it. Yeah. So you can even see the weather info here. As Liz has mentioned, weather is very important for skiers. So you can quickly see the weather for that particular day or for that particular time. And based on that, you can go ahead skiing. And here is the route, the recommended route. And on click of it, it will show you the complete detail of the route, including the ratings, reviews, and you have options where the user can see the photos and recordings of other users as well, just to see how the route is all about. So based on this, no, go back to the route details, please.
Sorry.
No problem. So since a couple of users mentioned that they do not have a Wi-Fi option, if they do not have a Wi-Fi option, they'll be stuck. So we have given a download button where they can download the offline map as well. So we have other options where you can share the route on your social media. You can record a new route in that particular ski point, as well as it shows the directions from your resort and to the ski route as well. Yeah, you can go back. Going to the equipment page. This is the complete rent equipment where the user basically do not need to wait in line to actually rent the equipment or get the equipment while coming for skiing. They can book it right away and go ahead skiing. Coming to the ski journey, this is all the top routes which are mentioned for that particular user. This is completely a personalized page. So you can even filter out within these routes based on the filters which we have mentioned earlier. And on filtering, the user will be given 2 options. Yeah, click on the ski routes. This is the list view, and you have the map view as well. Go to the map option. No, go to the map option.
Sorry.
Map.
Options.
Map, yes. So this is the map view of the filtered routes. So on this, you can click on the route number, and you can see different ski points over here. So on click of this, here you have the detailed route, and it even gives you your current location as well. On click of see more, you can go back to the same detailed ski route page. We have other features like payments, reservation. We really haven't worked on the prototype as of yet because of the time constraint. And oh yes, we have another option, which is transportation and food and fun. So let's go to the transportation, which I've mentioned. From and to the ski point and the resort. Just click on the from. Yeah. So once you click on enter your from and to location, it gives out all your routes, and based on that, you can either hire a car or a bus or even book the lift tickets based on your routes as well. Can you please go back? Yeah. Now, this is an interesting part for most of the users because they're not just going there for skiing, they want to enjoy their time, the entire vacation, even outside skiing. So here we are giving options for different kinds of restaurants, different kinds of cafes, nightclubs. Can you click on nightclubs? Yeah, you have options for here as well. You can, this shows the nearby places where you can hang out or you can even spend time and have fun. Yeah, so that's about it about our application, and we really appreciate the opportunity to present our product to all of you, and we'd love to hear from you. And if you have any ideas or suggestions or any questions you have, please go ahead and we can answer them for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Really nice.
Thank you. Stop sharing.
Yep.
It's time for questions. Oh, we have questions?
We have questions? Okay.
Did you like it?
Did you guys like the application?
Okay. It inspires you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Great
Okay.
work.
Thank you, Jose.
Thank you.
It's going to be hard next week.
You
We're waiting for it.
need to beat us. Huh? You need to beat us.
No,
Next week.
definitely not.
Yeah, you should. You are going. Andrew, you must. Okay,
Come
so
on, guys. Any ideas or suggestions
Or questions.
or questions? Yes.
About the process, about things we can consider.
Yeah, anything.
Adam, do you have a question? We cannot hear you.
no, it's again the bad problems with it.
It's in outer space.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah.
When, do you have a question? When?
Yes. Yeah, it's about wireframe. Does it really need to follow the design system initially? Or it can be illustrated out at a hi-fi prototype?
Wait, I couldn't understand your point. Most wireframe low fidelity prototype be following the design system, or it's more to sort out the user flow? It's to sort out the user flow. It's 100% about the, it's not the design system. Design system is part of the prototype, not the user, the wireframe, sorry. So.
Okay.
Yeah, wireframe is just to test, just to see how it looks going to look each screen, how it's going to be the content, and test with the user what is the most important for them to test or to filter when they are in the Alps, in the mountains.
It's basically about setting up the basic structure or the architecture of the entire app. Wireframes are basically for that. So design systems are not part of the wireframes, as Leticia has already mentioned about it.
Okay, thank you.
No, Sarah asked, any reason to have the menu on the come out from the right? We tried to model this off of a lot of other types of apps, particularly in the vacation space, that tend to have these sorts of menu options up in the upper right-hand part of the screen. We want to make anyone who opens or uses our app feel like similar to other apps they might have used in this space, so that they don't really have to do too much hunting or discovering or figuring out the new thing. We want to build off of previous models in this space to make it as easy for the user as possible. Again, though, still giving them information they could never get using those other types of apps, because we thought about every single aspect of this user and what it is they'd want to need to know.
Yeah, totally, 100%. Yeah, and for example, for my experience, I can see we can speak about our experience working in this group, because I believe this design challenge as a host here, as a host and organizer with that design challenge, I am really proud of this design challenge, but more with my group, because we have really good stakeholders, and we have worked really well together, prototyping. Even Erin, that is the great user experience, was prototyping, going in Figma and getting a mess. Yeah, I know, but
but I will say this. So interestingly enough, Padma, you asked me, did I do any interviews? Look, I don't know anyone who's ever been to the Alps, nor did I have a lot of whole time to figure out like where to even touch or talk to that person. However, there is 2 people on this whole entire planet that I do know who have been there decades ago, though. Literally decades. Who are they? My parents, all right? They lived in Germany. They were stationed there for years, and my mother was a ski instructor in that area. So some of the stuff that I saw in the reviews, I didn't bring it up in the interview. I just asked her a bit about her skiing experience there to see if they would touch upon any of the same pain points, and they did. But also I saw that in the review, some of the stuff she mentioned never really came up in some of the newer stuff. So it was clear that there was definitely some evolution. And again, had I the ability and the resources to do and actually interviews who had been there, I would have tried to do other types of ways to recruit participants for that type of work, because I definitely believe that qualitative interviewing is a very helpful resource, especially when iterating an entirely new technology. But you know, when you got a deadline, you got to go with what you got. So thanks, Mom.
Oh yes, I want to add something to that. Like, I'm not an experienced designer, but I have been talking about this with other people. And some of the companies, they don't have time or the resources to do interviews most of the time. So you have to manage with whatever you have. So I think this kind of research, looking for reviews and this thing is very useful anyway. And even if you have some friends, the idea is to ask them. It's better to ask to people, it's better than not asking to anyone. So I think it's when you are researchers, you have to take whatever you have.
And to be quite honest, what I did was like hours and hours pouring through, taking notes on what were the patterns and themes I saw of the positives and the negatives, so that we could cultivate our app to push up the positives that they'd want to know about and optimize their vacation while they were in the Swiss Alps, particularly in the Zermatt region, which is like the most popular area in the Swiss Alps to go skiing. And then also make sure they avoid or never even like have to think about any of the pain points we saw that were constantly talked about in those user reviews or discussion threads that I came across in Reddit, like literally hours, I mean, all night, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
Trixie has a question for Leticia.
Yeah, I was reading because I was, okay. When you were discussing consistency with line heights and heights for each font size, how were you able to work that out and make line height consistent? That is a math that Adam taught me, before. So I followed that math that you have the font size and you have the lettering space, and this is going to give you the correct line height. So for that is going to create the constancy. If you select, for example, the H6 for the cards in second hierarchy, for example, or the second screen, you know. So that is going to be a consistency for if you select specific, like how to say that, the heading or the text that you have done in the list. I answer your question.
And really and Leticia worked so hard in making that so beautiful and consistent throughout the whole thing. We really believed as a team, it was super important that when our users were in our app, it was a one-stop shop. And that from start to finish, not only was that experience like user-friendly and easy to navigate, but just made them feel like they were in a place. You know what I mean? Like this was like their vacation in an app, essentially, right? Because what we hope is, if it's a successful prototype and launch here at Zermatt, then other places could adopt it too, because it would, again, help people, you know, make their trip the best it possibly could. And how do you do that? By like making sure they never have to go out of the app to get the information they need, whether it's weather, whether it's food, whether it's amenities at their resort that they want to take advantage of, or sister resorts, right? Because usually places have that, where like sister resorts will have special deals that they can then, you know, learn about just in this app, so that they don't have to, especially when you're foreign country and you don't really want to download a whole lot of this, that, and the other. You just wanted one thing to like help you figure out all you got to do, so you don't waste time or arguing with other people in your, you know, trip. How to figure stuff out, what it is you want to do, and where you are, and how to make that happen, right? You just tell people like, hey, where is it that we're going for lunch? Check Alps.
Yeah. And the thing is, something that could be important more than the design and the user process, the user experience process, is how we connect, how we communicate each other in that group. That for me and the group is the most important thing, because if we don't have the energy, if we don't have we don't care about the people in our team or we cannot support the other, we will not, we should be a mess right now. I think, you know, like having organized or the roles, okay, I cannot go now because I have something to do. Okay, I am going to support you, or, oh, okay, there is just 12 a.m. Right now, but I am going to help you in that term because I know you need my help, or just we are a team. So as a part of this experience, is the most important thing to care about the stakeholders. And
I
Adam,
wanted to add to that is because to be honest, I joined the group pretty late, about I think 2 weeks late, and still I was actually able to gel well with the group. I was able to interact with them equally and efficiently, and because of that we were able to complete the prototype and present it live. It's a complete group effort.
Yeah.
And really thank you guys for that.
Oh, we are really good team, you know.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
So, Adam, I want to get to your question really quickly. Maybe something we didn't talk to as much depth as we could have before. When you enter in information into the profile, you also talk about like what type of skier you are, right? And this will filter and feature the different types of journeys you want to take. The different types of ski routes will recommend to you based on not just the type of skier you are, but you could also enter other users in your party so that it could tailor it to make sure no one is like going to be too bored or too challenged any of the ski routes. Also in the ski journey portion of the app, you could designate how long you wanted to go, and because you entered in your resort, it would filter routes that are closest to you to make sure that you wouldn't waste a whole lot of time just getting to a particular ski route. It would automatically take in all of your profile information to take it into account the other people in your party, the time of length that you want to ski, and also definitely where you want to end at the end of the ski day. Because something that came up in a ton of the reviews was that they would have to finish on one side of the mountain, the lifts were done, and then they'd be like, you know, just stranded somewhere out in the Alps without any real feasible way to get back to their place, definitely cheaply, because public transportation is difficult to navigate, especially if you're in a foreign country and you couldn't have a car there. So that was something we could really want to make as seamless as possible for our user, that they wouldn't run into any challenges like figuring out what types of routes, where are they, how do I make sure I'm back in the appropriate amount of time so that I wouldn't like waste time getting lost anywhere, because we really wanted to make sure like they wouldn't have to run into any of those pain points that we heard in a lot of the reviews. Padma, you asked, can you elaborate more on the offline map feature without Wi-Fi? How will it work? I will open, because I'm, you know, a bit of I talk too much. We all know this in my group. So I will let one of my wonderful team members talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
This is true.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erin.
Like,
thank you, Erin.
For all of us, you know. Oh,
so
wait.
Padma, about the offline map feature.
Yeah, my
okay, so there are on the ski points, if it is like too much on the mountain, sometimes there is no Wi-Fi available. So in such scenarios, users generally tend to get stuck on the route, and they will not be able to know where exactly they are going to check out the route, or to what extent they have already skied. So in such scenarios, what we have given is the option of downloading the map, wherein the entire map of the route is downloaded onto your mobile as an offline map. You must have seen the feature of offline maps even in Google Maps, basically. So it is exactly the same kind of feature. We weren't able to develop the entire prototype for that. If we had time, we would have done that. So it basically downloads the entire offline map, wherein the user can specifically see their location as well as the entire route of the particular entire route where they're actually skiing, without even the internet or Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Did that answer the question, Padma?
Yeah, I have Blake Burrell questions for the. I want this app. Loving this MVP. In the competitive analysis, you discuss Strava and all trails. I use them all the time. I love them. First question. They are. Wait. they are very different app based on having a premium or first version, free version. Have you considered any features or business models that would incentivize user to subscribe to the premium subscription?
Yes.
That is a question
Yeah, that's actually a good question. Like, so what we have done is right now, since this is an internal app which we are developed, and we've done most of the quantitative and qualitative research, as Erin mentioned earlier. So the other apps definitely have the biz models. What we are looking further is, in case we will have to look for the biz models, we will have to incorporate the purchase option, which is already present. If you have seen the menu which we have shown in the live prototype, we do have the payments options there. It's just that we weren't able to develop the prototype at this particular point of time. We did consider it. So
another option that we can do, if I may,
yes,
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 something that probably would be way more profitable, because let's be real, LBR hashtag. No one wants to pay for anything these days, especially right now. Am I right? Nobody. But guess who loves to pay for stuff? Big giant corporations wanting to attract people to their place of business, right? And we're talking about those resorts. We're talking about those restaurants. We're talking about those ski rental places. So we'll seek their money to feature their place and info on our app. We'll use them. We'll leverage the big man and not punish the little guy, okay? Who's just looking to have a good time. I think it's a business model that's wildly unexplored. And we know that advertising is the be all and end all of making money off of any kind of app, social media, any kind of like information technology space. So they want the people, they want the user. Get on our app, baby. Let our app filter up and put up your info to that user so they spend their money in your place of business. Hey.
The other thing we should consider too, like one of the things that we are considering to add in our app is to record your activity. So you say, okay, today I ski, I don't know how many kilometers and all this time and everything. So we can think of maybe, because people like to show off and share this on social media because I'm the best skier, maybe that can be like a premium thing, for example, that you can share your progress and maybe a leaderboard or something like that. So I think we can maybe think of that too.
I am thinking, if you pay me, I can give you the premium one if you want. For example, that could be a really good one, because that could be, or even the advertising that Erin says, I think is the most important, could be the best iteration that could be, for advertising, that display or search or,
I think people will pay. People go to Disneyland. Navigating Disneyland without a good app sucks. So people will spend up to $18 on an app just so that they can make sure that they don't waste their time. So I think people pay for it.
Yeah. Well, still thinking about those options. Now, interesting question. You asked, how do we go from user research to personas? Noriko and I worked very closely on that bridge. So I'm going to let Noriko talk a bit, because again, a mouth is too big and I talk too much.
You can talk, Erin. So to be honest, I checked user reviews just 50 to 100, but I think Erin checked everything like over 3,000. And to be honest, it's really hard to make 4 personas for me the first time. So usually I create persona 1 or 2 the first, like before launch. But Erin was so strongly say we create 4 persona, Noriko, because we have to think about family and solo, and then they are like men and women. So okay, we can try.
I didn't know that.
Very different. Like going through all these reviews, it was very clear there were like 4 overarching types of people that go to this area. There are parents going with their kids that want to make sure that like everyone has the best time. You have solo travelers, men versus women, who also have very different needs on a place of this area, especially if they're traveling internationally. You know, the man probably also has more expending money and just cares about having the best trip possible. We know that women have more safety concerns, want to make sure that they can navigate and have it. It's easy to navigate that area well. And so that's also why, I mean, everyone's going to be wanting to know about those emergency services, but that's going to be really key for her too, especially if she's a solo traveler. But then we also have another type of traveler, which is captured in our father male type, but he's an older father, right? Probably going and just looking to have kind of like a adventurous experience, trying to recapture his youth. I saw that come up in a lot of the reviews too, in different types of iterations. So with that, Noriko and I worked very closely on taking insight from all this user research and then putting that into these archetypes that then helped us understand what were the possible pain points, what are the solutions that we could address, and also make sure that the app tailored to all of these different types of users' wants and needs in that time of trip, so that the app directly speaks to what they want out of their vacation.
Yeah, thank you. We have 4 minutes before to finish this this meeting for today. So I want to thank you all to speak, to ask, to listen to us for the entire project that we show you. And yeah, like I wanted to know if you have some experience, what you want to share, or yeah, like you guys did so great. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. Great. Yeah, great team. That is a really great team. I hope you guys, Adam, your group, you know, Andrew, your group, Jose, your group, have a great beat with us. Can beat us sometime. That could be really good. That could be really, really good. I'm not sure if yeah.
I don't think so, Leticia, but thanks for the words.
You all see Argentina. Argentina.
No, really, I'm shocked how much work you put in this app and this development. I'm really enjoyed this presentation. And Erin, I really enjoy you started the presentation, and it was really funny and really energetic. So thanks. It was
Very
great.
energetic. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Great work, team.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So go to the Alps.
Yeah.
I love Alps.
To go. See you next week, next year, because it's COVID. Don't forget that we cannot fly. But anyway, we can iterate this application considering the flights. But in 2025, we don't know. And use mask, you know, like having a mask in the
You have
Alps,
to get anyway when you
take
ski.
care and sanitize. Yeah, thanks. A tough act to follow. So great. Thank you. Yay, Jose, you appeared. Thank you, guys. Sam, are you there? Victoria, Andrew Yi. Are you new here? Are you here? Are you here? Yeah. So maybe just some. Hey, Victoria! Thank you for coming. Nice to see you.
Hey, I was muted. That was great. Great job, guys.
You have to meet us.
That's tough.
You have to meet
It's a
us.
tough one to do.
Really great job.
Try.
Yeah. No, it's not a competition, but that could be. That could be.
Great. I would love to see this as a real app.
Yeah. Your app is going to be good. Yeah. It's going to be good.
I just want to add before we leave the call. It was an amazing experience to work in a group with you guys. It was amazing. And I really want to go into the next design challenge, because it was very interesting to work with other people. We have so many different personalities and so many different skills, and see all that coming together in an app. It was priceless. So thank you very much for organizing this.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a really good experience.
Yeah.
For example, you can introduce, but your background is, Liz, your background is development.
Yeah, developer, software developer.
You are a developer. Noriko, what is your background?
UX designer.
UX designer. So she actually is really good UX designer, but I have my background in graphic design and branding, but I'm more focused in UX. And please, Erin, say your background.
I have a background in research that spans over a decade, but I'm also getting certified in user experience and design, more specifically, so that I can be more well-rounded in this space.
Yeah. And Mehz.
So I started as a programmer and then I went into UX design, and I've been in UX as a UX researcher for about 10 years now. And I'm getting into interaction design right now.
Great. So guys, this is the end. I'm so happy to be present. I was really nervous, and let me tell you, this is
Great job, Leticia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Thank you. I was thinking if I introduced myself or not. Yeah, I did. So you guys can get out your hat.
Oh my God.
Really, it's really.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you guys. See you next week.
See you guys next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.